Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make part 2 of my modern hospital. If you haven't made part 1, I will leave a link for that video in the description below, the top of the comment section, and that's it. Hopefully YouTube will also put it in the recommended videos. The video itself looks like this. Once you have followed that video along, then you can continue. So, with the entire structure and outside of our hospital complete, here are all of the materials that we will need to continue the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. I think that I have successfully managed to get every single thing that we will need, although I'm sure I've forgotten something. Step 1, ladies and gentlemen, the hospital needs to have a bunch of floors, so that is the first thing that we're going to do to make everything else easy. Step 1, we are going to rip up the entire ground floor, so this is all of the grass that I have inside of my hospital. I don't know whether you also have grass as well, or some different materials, it completely depends on where you started building this, but regardless, unless the floor is made out of chiseled quartz, then it all has to come up. So rip up the floor, replace it with chiseled quartz, and then we can move on to the other floors. The other floors are really simple. We simply have to use smooth stone to fill in the next two, and well, final two floors really. It's obvious where you place them. You place them in between the separations in the windows as we move up the build. The entire span of the hospital wants to get filled in with the smooth stone, and you can't really go too far wrong. Now that we've installed all of those floors, we can now add detail to them, and we will be starting from the ground up, literally. So, the first thing that I want to do now that all of those floors are in is I want to come all the way to the entrance. We're going to start from the left side, and we will first of all leave a gap of 2, so 1, 2, and then place a row of 2 white concrete extending up to the ceiling. We then want to leave a gap of 1 and then place a row of white concrete once again extending up to the ceiling. We'll place a block of iron at the top of this gap here, and then we will move on. So, in the ground, I want you to dig 2 rows to the right of the white concrete and place sea lanterns in there with blue stained glass extending from the sea lanterns upwards. We're then going to make the rest of this wall here white concrete, so the white concrete is going to extend all the way to the back. But we also want to take the first white concrete and extend to the right by 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're going to extend that 7th block up like this. And I'm also going to stick a lantern just here, just in the corner. So once we've done that, we are going to, leaving a gap of 1 behind this white concrete here, we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4 white concretes. And then we'll extend that 4th white concrete up and also across like this. So we're going to box this area in. Behind the white concrete, towards the back of the hospital, we'll place an oak door, and then we want to fill the surrounding area in using white concrete, although I'm also considering placing a block of iron above this just to sort of mark it out. So, leaving a gap of 2, which is the width of this window funnily enough, we want to extend a row of white concrete outwards. We want to have the same gap that we have just here, so we want to have a door here as well. So leaving the gap of 2, we want to pretty much copy this entire wall structure like this, just opposite. Then extend this wall to the right to connect to the outer part of the hospital. The end result should look like this, and it's looking pretty good. This is most of the structure of downstairs complete. I'm just going to stick a lantern right here. So the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to get rid of these, and let's grab ourselves. We have a little conundrum. Let's do the elevator first. So we'll need a stone button, loom, light grey banner, we'll need grey dye, and then we'll do the desk. We will need bookshelves, end rods, dark oak trapdoor, grey carpet, we'll need flower pots, and then much more of course as well. But let's come all the way to the entrance where we have the elevator. We'll throw a loom on the ground, we'll open it up, we'll place a light grey banner in there with some grey dye, and the first banner we want to make it so that we have a vertical row of grey on the left side of the banner vertically. Put a new banner in there, And then we want to have a vertical row of grey on the right side of the banner like this. So we want both sides. We then want to use these banners to make it look as though that we have elevator doors hanging off of the light grey concrete that we left a gap for, and we'll place a button to the right of it to make it look as though that we can actually call the elevator. Perfect. When it comes to the little desk area behind here, we are going to fill the back of this in using bookshelves, just like this. And then we want to have some seats as well. So the seats, we're just going to leave a gap of 1 between the edge of this white concrete here. So I'm place an end rod, grey carpet on top, and then a dark oak trap door. We've just got to get into a good position to place this. There we go, that's perfect. Flipped upwards, makes a little chair. If we leave a gap of 2 between this and then do the exact same thing, then we will have 2 chairs. There we go, that's perfect. On the counter space, I'm going to place a couple of pots here and there, so a couple of pots there. We have to make some computers, which are really easy. Stone pressure plate, birch trap door, paintings, and we are going to place these in front of where the actual chairs are. So stone pressure plate on the counter, birch trap door flipped up in front of it, painting on there. We managed to get the same painting, which is either lucky or unlucky depending upon how you look at it, and there we go, perfect. We want to make a wheelchair towards the front of the hospital. This is made using polished deep slate stairs and oak trap doors. So along this wall, polished deep slate stairs, oak trap doors either side. Very simple wheelchair. You've got to use a little bit of imagination, but you know, if you can imagine that they're the wheels, that's the chair. I mean, that's pretty much all you need for a wheelchair if you think about it. It's in the name. So the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to make, in the corner of the room, there's a water cooler. So smooth quartz stairs, light blue glass block. We want a weighted pressure plate, which I believe is in the chest, but we'll just grab one anyway because it is all we need right now. And then we just need the light grey concrete. We need flower pots, and we also need some saplings as well for a little bit later on, and we will need the lanterns again, and we're going to have to pillage that chest out there a little bit. So in the corner here, we want to have an upside down smooth quartz stairs, light blue glass on top of it, heavy weighted pressure plate on top of that, and we need a tripwire hook, which we also don't have on us. All of these things are in the chest outside, so tripwire hook in front of the glass. Left of this, a couple of light grey concretes with flower pots on top, so we have a water dispenser and cups. On the back wall here, I want to place lanterns in between the windows, so just in front of the white concretes at the top here. We want to... Let's go and grab some stuff out of the chest, ladies and gentlemen. So, for the chest, we are going to want to grab all of these materials out of the chest. You can see that I have doubles, and that is because I was too lazy to visit the chest in the first place. So, instead of me meticulously picking everything that I needed out of the chest for 5 minutes, here is what we need. Grab all of those, and then we can continue on. So, moving back into the hospital, the first thing that I want to do in here is set out a bunch of seating. So this is really easy. From in front of this light grey concrete here, we're going to leave a gap of 1 and place a dark prismarine stair. Gap of 1, dark prismarine stair, gap of 1, dark prismarine stair, extending backwards. We want to leave a gap of 2 between these stairs, and then we want to have another set of stairs. On the sides of the stairs, we are going to place warped signs. So, just like this. So, on the sides of the stair, this is perfect. So, just a bunch of seating. Along the back here, we're going to have a couple of light grey glazed terracotta with oak leaves on top of said terracotta. Then, in between these stairs, we are going to place some terracotta, some glazed terracotta, that will allow us to place paintings on the wall. So you could have actually used any solid block. I don't know why I specified the terracotta, but the point is this. And then we're going to remove these. We just wanted to have a couple of paintings. It's still feeling a bit dark in here, but I'm quite happy with that if you are. So something that I just realised as well is I wanted to grab a sapling. I grabbed saplings earlier just to put something in these cups here. These parts, preferably different saplings would look better, but You know, that's the way the sapling crumbles, unfortunately. So anyway, we are going to move into the 2 examination rooms. So first of all, we'll mark out the examination room. So we'll have like exam room 1, and then we'll have exam room 2. So these are placed, of course, just in front of the iron blocks above each one of the doors. It doesn't matter which is 1 and 2, that is up to you, and that rhymes as well. So we need light grey concrete, stone buttons, we also need light grey shulker box, lanterns, we need heavy weighted pressure plate, painting, smooth quartz stair, armor stand, tripwire hook, and we'll also need a bed as well. So along this back wall we want to have a bunch of light grey concrete, and then we're going to have in front of one of these smooth quartz stairs. In front of the other light greys we want to have stone buttons, and then on top of this wall we want to have a bunch of light grey shulker boxes. In the corner a lantern, and then on the left side here a heavy weighted pressure plate, and behind it a painting. Along this wall somewhere I'd probably only leave, like, say, maybe in the middle maybe. So armor stand, tripwire hook. So that is, I didn't know that you could actually place a tripwire hook behind an armor stand, but an armor stand with a tripwire hook above it. And along this back wall, I just want to have a bed. Really, really simple examination room. Perfect. Let's do the exact same thing on this opposite side here. So we'll kind of do this in reverse. We will start off by placing the bed here, and then we'll get rid of that. And what is it that we need? We need the tripwire hook. So along this back wall, we want light grey concretes. We'll pick one of these to have a stair in front of. Maybe we'll do the middle this time. We will have a heavy weighted pressure plate, shulker boxes along the top. We will box in a 1x1 painting in front of the pressure plate. We'll stick a lantern somewhere. We will then place stone buttons in front of the light grey concrete. We want to have an armor stand in the middle with a tripwire hook, not behind it, but above. I guess you could have 2 if you wanted to, but anyway, that's a nice simple examination room. And in doing that, ladies and gentlemen, you have actually pretty much completed downstairs. So with downstairs pretty much 100% complete at this point, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to turn our attention to the next floors. But there is a problem. We don't have any stairs, and the elevator is broken. So we're going to place a birch sign right here in front of this. in front of this block of iron, and we are going to write stairs with a birch item frame, and this is where the stairs are going to be, directly where this gap is, just below the block of iron, and we're going to destroy into here. Guys, I'm going to be 100% honest with you, this is not how I thought this room would look. I think that we've got to make some alterations. So, the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to excavate some of the light grey concrete that we have just behind this little wall here. So that's absolutely perfect. I'm going to replace that andesite. So let's excavate some of this wall. We can always replace some of it leading up onto the next floor. And you know what? Just to save us a little bit of bother later, let's do the exact same thing moving up. We can always box this in using some white concrete. So that's perfect. So now we have access to every single one of the floors, right? So what I'm thinking is this: above and below the windows we want to have sea lanterns. We have a window down here below on the first floor. Well, why don't we extend this window all the way up to the top with sea lantern separators leading all the way up to the top floor. I won't make the top of this sea lanterns because that is the roof. So there we go, that's kind of perfect, right? So the next thing that we are going to do is just make some door holes. We'll make it literally just like this. So we'll have a gap of 2 at the bottom, and then we'll need a block of iron. That's something that we don't have right now, but we can easily get if you're in creative. So leave a gap of 2, block of iron, and then we'll just have white concrete above. So gap of 2, block of iron, white concrete above, just like this. So yeah, that's perfect. We then want to box the rest of this in using white concrete like this. And these will be the entrances to every single one of the floors. So what I'm thinking now is we extend the light grey concrete front to back like this, and we just kind of like shorten the amount of space that we have in here. So this wasn't necessarily how I thought that we were going to be building all this, but you know, that's fine probably. let's fill the top of this in using light grey concrete as well. So what we're essentially doing is making a giant box, really. And in reducing the parameters that we are able to build in, it will actually, funnily enough, make it easier to build. So yeah, that will actually be enough space. 4 rows, yeah, 4 rows will actually be 100% perfect. So we'll make the stairs, we'll add in the floors, we'll even add some windows to the back, and the stairwell will actually look really, really good. And because we're doing all of it in one go, that will actually save us doing it later as well. So let's do this. That's perfect, right? So nice. And so whilst I think about this, I want to mark out the floors. So this will be G for like ground floor. 1, that's an exclamation point. 1 and then 2. Perfect. So ground floor 1, 2. And equally so on the opposite side of the iron blocks, I just want to write stairs. Very small detail, but I don't know why, but it seems important to me. I've got no idea why it is, but I want to write stairs on the opposite sides. So it's kind of perfect. Let's add in the stairs themselves, eh? So at the bottom here, I do believe that we leave a gap of 2 in the ground, so let's place 2 rows of chiseled quartz block right in the ground, and then we want to have a set of smooth quartz stairs that extends all the way back, and leave a gap of 1 from the back, place a chiseled quartz there, extend the chiseled quartz across, forwards, and lead it to the entrance like this. This is kind of like the minimum amount of space that we need. So like you can even apply this up to the next floor. So if we place smooth quartz stairs here and slowly extend it upwards, I do believe that if we just have a gap of 1 at the front and at the back like this, extend the chiseled quartz just all the way around like so, perfect. So we have a bunch of, this is like the minimum amount of stairs that we absolutely positively need. So let's come all the way back down to the bottom again. I don't know what I was going to say reduce the grass, which I guess does make sense, but destroy the grass, replace it using some chisel quartz. We can either have, like, do we just want a single set of stairs? Kind of looks alright, right? Or do we want to double up on it? It's, you know what, let's double up on the stairs. Let's not be too, there we go. Let's not be greedy. We'll double up on the stairs. We'll place chisel quartz block around it as well, just leading around here, and we should be able to climb up and down. We want to then place, underneath this, we want to place the upside down stairs. I don't think this will interfere. No, perfect. And if we wanted to, we could even destroy those, and there we go, that's nice. Glass pane on these sides here, and we should be able to do the same thing up here. We don't have to add any more stairs though, so we'll just place these stairs around. Glass pane, just all the way around like this, and that's absolutely perfect, just a nice bunch set of stairs. And if we come all the way down to the bottom, I'm thinking we mirror the glass. Well, that's unfortunate. So, hang on, there we go. There we go. Perfect. Oh, and let's place sea lanterns under this one in particular. So I'm thinking we mirror the glass that we have here to there. And that's a nice way of... I'm thinking maybe we add the sea lanterns in as well. So just to light every floor a bit more. I think that that's perfect. There we go. So it's just like a nice little mirror. We could have it up at the top of the stairs, and it would be nicer to look at as we were walking up and down the actual hospital. But there is a symmetry to this that I very much enjoy. So now that we have all of these stairs sorted out, and if I do say so myself, it's a nice set of stairs, we can now move on to the second floor, or technically the first floor according to this sign. So the first floor is really simple. The first thing on the first floor to make is going to be the... You know what? I want to grab different materials. Hey look guys, new materials. These are all of the materials, or at the very least, most of them, that we will need to complete this next floor. So please do make sure that you have all of those, or at least most of them. So, first thing on this first floor, we are going to extend this wall across using white concrete. I didn't realise that we would actually have a gap here, so we will just add some white concrete in front of the light grey. From the white concrete block that touches this glass here, we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white concretes extending across, join upwards to the ceiling, leave a gap of 1, and then 5 more white concrete. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. leave a gap of 2 and then 2 more white concrete, and extend all of these white concretes up to the ceiling, like this. We then want to take these top 2 rows, join them together, and the hole that we are leaving is the entrance into this room, and we want to add a row of white concrete that separates this room from what will be the nurse's station. And in the corner here, we actually want to destroy 2 of these blocks, and we want to actually also limit the amount of space for the nurse's station. I do believe that we are only going to need a row of 4, so we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this 5th row here we are going to cut this wall off using white concrete, and don't lock yourself out this hallway like I was about to. So this is kind of like the bare bones of the hallway. We want to fill the back wall of this in using bookshelves. This is going to look very similar to what we have down below. And then we need to add 2 chairs. So the chairs, 1 chair will be here, just right in the middle of the smooth stone floor. So it will line up with the edge of this counter. We'll leave a gap of 2 and then have another chair. We want to have grey carpets on top of the end rods, and then dark oak trapdoors flipped up behind the grey carpets. On the counter space here, we will have 2 pressure plates with birch trapdoors in front of said pressure plates, like this. Flip them up, and it's up to you whether you want to place a painting. I've actually forgotten to grab them, and they're not that necessary. So on the counter space as well, I'm going to place a pot with a sapling in it. I mean, you can alternatively have them flip down, because they're meant to be laptops. So you could just have like one flip down, one flip top. We are going to add a lantern just behind here to provide a little bit of light. Along this wall somewhere, we're looking for a wheelchair, which is a deep slate stairs, oak trapdoors flipped up either side of it. I want to have a water cooler with a table next to it. So this is just smooth quartz stairs, light blue glass, heavy weighted pressure plate, tripwire hook, and then we need the light grey concrete, which I guess we don't have. I did say that we had most of the stuff we needed. We will need the pots, terracotta, oak leaves, probably the lanterns as well. So leave a gap of 1 between the wheelchair and then place the upside down smooth quartz stairs. Light blue glass on top, tripwire hook in front of it, and then a heavy weighted pressure plate on top. Next to this, a couple of light grey concretes extending towards the right side of the hospital with a couple of flower pots on top. In the corner of the hallway, we'll have a light grey glazed terracotta with a couple of leaves on it. We then want to have lanterns hanging in between the glass that we have for the window. So this is kind of like the hallway, actually, pretty much 100% fully complete. Very, very simple design. So now let's head into the actual like ward. This is where like a bunch of people would be kept together. And the first thing that we want to do is we want to grab the white beds, end rods, cyan banners. We want to grab light grey shulker box, item frame, potion of healing, of course. We also need polished black stone wall. We also need black glass pane, and also just some lanterns, and this room will actually be complete with just these. So if we start from this corner right here, and on the wall we want to place a couple of end rods extending from the second block moving up the wall with cyan banners on the floor to meet the end rods. Then next to this we want to place a white bed. To the right of this, a light grey shulker box, item frame on top, potion of healing inside of it, of course. And then above this, we want to, on the wall, place a polished black stone wall, item frame, black glass pane. Now let me explain what all of this is. We have a hospital bed, we have a curtain that would go around said bed, we have a potion of healing to heal, and then this would be a TV. This is like on one of those things that you can like pull out on a stand on an arm, and so you could watch TV. Very, very simple design. We'll be repeating this a couple of times, so we'll actually leave a gap of 1 between this whole bed setup here, and then we'll repeat the same thing. So a couple of end rods extending from the wall, banners, white bed next to it, shulker box, item frame, potion of healing, polished black stone wall, item frame, glass, there we go, in front of the item frame. That's perfect. And literally we want to do the exact same thing on the opposite side here. So we will, yeah, I guess we'll try and line the beds up. So we'll line the beds up with the other two beds like this. That's perfect. And then we'll always have the end rods on the left side with the banners, of course. Shulker box, item frame, shulker box, item frame, potion of healing in there. We then want to have the polished black stone wall, item frame, black glass, perfect. Really, really simple room, ladies and gentlemen, and all we have to do is just add a little bit of light in here. Perfect. That's absolutely perfect. So we're now going to head into the bathroom here, and for the bathroom we don't actually have everything that I need. Everything we need, I do believe. So we need the smooth quartz stairs, we need the lever, we need cobblestone wall, we need the iron trap doors. We will also need the... we don't have it, we need a cauldron. So let's just grab that. We also need the light grey concrete, which I do believe we have. Tripwire hook, light grey shulker boxes, and that might actually do it. So, right in this corner, in the back right corner here, cauldron, tripwire hook, cauldron, oak trapdoor, that is a toilet. To the left of this, we want to have a bath, so that is going to be an upside down smooth quartz stairs, extend it 2 rows forward, so 1, 2, extend it towards the wall, perfect. On the wall, we're going to have a lever, and then dangling down from the ceiling, a cobblestone wall with an iron trapdoor. We also, on this opposite wall here, want to have a sink. So that's a cauldron with a tripwire hook, light grey concrete to the left of it, and a couple of light grey shulker boxes above it. So all that would be left here to do, really, really simple stuff, and I would prefer a different colour of banner, maybe white or something. So a couple of end rods extending around the edge of the bath here, with a couple of banners just placed below. So to make it look as though that we have a shower curtain, some modicum of privacy perhaps. So there we go, perfect. Nice and simple bathroom. Speaking of modicum of privacy, everywhere that I've not placed doors, before I forget, one should definitely be on the bathroom. And I don't know whether I even care about having them on the stairs, but maybe just one on the stairs as well. I don't think it really matters anywhere else. I'd almost prefer it to be a bit more open, so we'll have doors on the stairs. We've got that second floor taken care of. We're moving up to this third floor here, and on the technically second floor, we've got ground first and second. It's honestly, who designed this? It's so confusing. So here we have the last and final floor. This is the operating floor. Third and final floor. Third and final set of materials. Please do make sure that you populate your inventory with something that looks pretty much like this. So once you have all of that stuff, we can get to work on this pretty cool floor. So this is the operating floor. All that we have up here is a hallway and 2 operating rooms, and the first thing that we want to do is seal up this wall right here using white concrete. So just as we did on the previous floor, we just want a smooth row of white concrete just like this. And once that has been done, we are going to make the 2 separate operating rooms. So extending from the white concrete that connects to this glass, we want to place 6 white concretes extending across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then want to place a door, white concrete, and well, you can extend the white concrete all the way over and then place a door at the very end just like this. We want to extend the white concrete on the left and right side of the doors where applicable to the ceiling. Extend a row of white concrete across the top of the ceiling left and right like this. We're then going to place a block of iron above each door, and in front of that we'll place a sign. So operating... is that how you spell operating room 1? I was hoping I was spelling that right. And then operating room 2. Perfect. And we are going to fill these gaps in here using light grey concrete to make some solid walls. In the hallway, we just want some simple decoration. So in between these windows, light grey glazed terracottas with oak leaves on top. We'll make them 2 rows high and we'll place lanterns hanging just above them like this. So absolutely perfect. Nice, simple, clean, complete hallway. If you want to add other things up here like wheelchairs and what have you, then feel free, but I would prefer just to kind of like keep it simple. So that did not open. So we are going to separate these rooms further. We're going to place white concrete. Actually, we might do it kind of like similar to what we did outside. So we might have like a rectangle of white concrete in between the two rooms. So one room I do believe is actually ever so slightly bigger than the other, although that seems to be false as I'm looking at it now. So right next to the door is the separating wall, and we are going to place light grey concrete like this. So that's perfect. And as we have locked ourselves into operating room 1, we are going to build it first. So first of all, we are going to, right next to the door here, we'll leave a gap of 1, 2, 3 in the floor. This fourth plot, we'll place white concrete extending up to the ceiling. Extend the top to the right and the left to the right as well. So just join it all together, just like this. We want to extend the bottom to the left. Fill the middle of this in using glass block. We want to add a door here into the actual operating room with a block of iron just above it, just for a bit of decoration. And if you want, you can just add a lantern in here if you think it's a tad dark. So we're actually going to, whilst we have these materials out, let's do the exact same thing to the next room as well, so that we're not swapping between materials constantly. So we want to leave a gap of 1, 2, 3. This fourth plot, we want it to be white concrete extending up to the ceiling. Flare it to the right, block of iron underneath, oak door underneath, then extend white concrete to the left of the bottom block and the top block, and we'll place glass inside of here. So with all that complete, we want to do the outside of these rooms first, and they're really easy. We just need an armor stand, lever, tripwire hook, cauldron, any sign will do. We then, well, that's actually it really. So in these rooms, we want to have a couple of armor stands, lever above them. We might leave a gap of 1 actually, so like start it where the light grey concrete starts. So a couple of armor stands, lever, tripwire hook about 1, so this would store clothes or scrubs or outfits or whatever it might be, just on these mannequins here. Then just a couple of sinks just against this wall. This is going to be a couple of cauldrons with a lever in front above one and a tripwire hook above the other. Super simple room, and we want to do the exact same thing just over here as well. So let's start in kind of like reverse. So we'll make the sinks, so that's just cauldrons, lever, tripwire hook, and then where the light grey starts, a couple of armor stands, lever, tripwire hook just above. That's absolutely perfect. So the only thing that we're missing is actually just a lantern in the other room. So why don't we just start off with OR2 as we are already here. So to make the inside of the operating room, once again, super simple process. Light grey concrete, cauldron, tripwire hook. We'll also need the light grey shulker, grey shulker. We then need item frames. We then also need potions of healing, and then we'll want a light blue bed, and we will also need an end rod. And I think that we'll make both of the rooms simultaneously once again, so that we're not just swapping between materials constantly. So against the left wall in each of these rooms, we want to, starting from the glass area here, place a light grey concrete, cauldron, and then 2 light grey concretes. Above the cauldron, we want to place a tripwire hook, and I'm realising we want to place a sign in front of this as well, but we will do that in a sec. Above this, we want to leave a gap of 1 between the counter space, place a couple of light grey shulker boxes, followed by a couple of grey. Item frames on the grey concretes with potions of healing inside of those, and then we want to, from the first light grey concrete, next to the sink, we want to leave a gap of 1, place an end rod. Next to the end rod, a light blue bed. This is where we will leave the room, because we want to do the exact same thing to the opposite room, again just so that we don't have to keep swapping things out constantly. We start off right next to this wall, 1 light grey concrete, 1 cauldron, 2 light grey concrete, tripwire hook above the cauldron, item frames on the counter with potions of healing inside, leave a gap of 1 above, 2 light grey shulker boxes, 2 grey shulker boxes. From the first light grey concrete after the cauldron, we leave a gap of 1, place an end rod. Next to this, a light blue bed. Perfect. So, next, to complete the room, we will be needing the sign that I mentioned, block of iron, painting, cobble wall, the end rod again, brewing stand, dark oak trapdoor, birch trapdoor, item frame, and we will need one more thing, which is the iron sword. But birch sign in front of the cauldron. get rid of that, get the sword. On top of the end rod, we want to place a block of iron, painting in front. Next to it, to the right of the bed, cobblestone wall, end rod, brewing stand on top, perfect. Then we want to create a little table. So the little table is really simple. We want to have suspended in the air a birch trap door. Either side of it, a dark oak trapdoor, flipped up next to it to look like a small table. On the table, an item frame with an iron sword. So, this room, this is a scalpel. This is like one of those things that has like the tubes that connects to a person and it feeds you like, I don't know, like the anesthetic and the other stuff. I don't pretend to be a doctor, but you know all the other stuff that they stick in you, I guess. This is like the monitor to monitor your vital signs, your heart and all that other such. We have a sink for washing hands and tools and whatever it might be. We have some potions of healing for healing. And we have some cupboard, some storage space. Nice and simple. And we are going to do the exact same thing to the other rooms. So if we come all the way over here, first thing that we're going to do is just place a sign in front of the sink, get rid of that, grab the sword again, block of iron on top of the end rod, painting in front of that, opposite side of the bed, cobblestone wall, end rod on top, brewing stand on top of that. Then we want to, extending from this wall, we want to have a birch trapdoor floating. And we want to place dark oak trapdoors flipped either side of the birch. Item frame on top of that, iron sword on top, and that is... Hey guys, we've made the entire hospital. That's it. There's no more. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope that you have enjoyed it. Please do remember to like and subscribe. Click that little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. And if you do want to make anything else by me, I would highly recommend the City Builds playlist in the description below. And if you see anything recommended by me in the recommendations, feel free to click that if you like. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.